Ryan actually, in his debut article for Free Radical Network, so congratulations on being a part of the being part of the roster there, Ryan. He wrote about that in his article. So I would love to hear some more about it there, Ryan.
All right, it's called For the Poor. Um, the idea behind it comes from having discussions with people where they say, oh, you're conservative, you don't care about the poor. You're a Republican, you only like the rich people. You just want the rich to succeed. You don't care about anyone else. You don't want to help the poor. And that couldn't be further from the truth. I hold conservative positions because I want the poor to be able to get out of that poverty. I want less poor people, those that are there. I want to give the skills and knowledge and opportunity to get out. I want to create a culture where people don't get into that situation in the first place. So I wrote a few points of examples. I want the poor to be better off, and that's why I encourage and support traditional families. When you look at statistics, according to the U.S. Census Bureau, children in father-absent homes are almost 4 times more likely to be poor. In 2011, 12% of children in married couple families were living in poverty, compared to 44% of children in mother-only families. Children who come from single or fatherless households have far higher rates of incarceration. They have far higher risk of abuse and neglect when there's not a biological father in the home. Sometimes that could be from a boyfriend of a mother or something like that, or even a stepdad. 63% of suicides nationwide are from individuals from single-parent families. 75% of children in chemical dependency hospitals are from single-parent families. So, as you can see, having a biological mother and a father makes a huge difference on whether those children are in poverty or not. And that's one of the main reasons that I support nuclear families, keeping the mother and father in a home. Whatever we need to do to make that culturally better, to lower the divorce rate, to encourage, if there's tax benefits, whatever we can do to help that. But it's clear from looking at Democrat-controlled cities such as Detroit, D.C., Chicago, Baltimore, that the Democrat plans for the past 50 years have not worked on poverty, on having 2 parents in the home, on education, things like that. Another thing is I want to help the poor people move up the economic ladder, and that's why I care about welfare reform. As I just mentioned, all those Democrat cities, what they've been trying hasn't been working. People are not getting out of poverty. There's more and more and more people in poverty each year. Food stamps are rising, welfare is rising, dropout rates are not good. Another reason I care about the poor, and that's why I support capitalism. I'm not going to go into that, but there have been dozens and dozens of studies showing that capitalism has by far been the best thing ever to happen to poverty in human history. Nothing has come anywhere close to lifting the amount of people out of poverty. Quick Google search will pull up literally dozens of different studies and articles proving that. So I don't need to really go into that. And I care about the poor, so I support school choice. Parents should be able to choose where to send their children to school. Right now, there's a lot of parents that will choose what neighborhood to live in based on the public schools or the schools in that area. They say, well, our school right now is bad. We have enough money. Let's move to a different area so we can put our kid in a good school. But poor people don't have that choice. They don't have the opportunity to pick up and move to a different neighborhood or to pay through the nose to put their kid in a private school. We need to let them choose. We need to let schools compete. We need to give them options between charter schools, private schools, public schools, different public schools. Whatever we need to do, but public schools are failing. When someone tells me that I hate the poor because of my political position, I can tell them, actually it's the opposite. I've chose these positions because they work and because I do care about the poor and I want to help them get out of the poverty that they're in. So I hope this kind of encourages some thought and discussion, and all of you can come up with your own ideas of why, when someone asks you that, why you can say, no, I'm actually conservative because. Yeah, so let's hear what you guys have to say.
You have to say, okay, look, you had two bakeries side by side. One's owned by a Christian, one isn't. Why did you target the one with the Christians? And then when they politely refused and said, no, thank you, why did you sue them?
And then when there are cases where you have a gay bakery being asked to do cakes that go against their beliefs, that is okayed, and a Christian bakery, their rights are taken away. Please explain to me how that is not biased.